Hello and welcome to the Joe Ligato Show. I'm your host, Dr. Joe Ligato, and today we're going to be talking about an article from Yahoo News on the bizarre secret behind China's spy balloon. So this was a major propaganda effort by the West to pretend like this balloon was a spy balloon from China instead of just a balloon that blew off course. And I wanted to give an update to my viewers about what was really going on with that supposed spy balloon. It was surely the most bizarre crisis of the Biden administration. America's top-of-the-line jet fighters being sent up to shoot down, of all things, a balloon. A Chinese spy balloon that was floating across the United States, which had the nation and its politicians in a tizzy. Now, 7 months later, General Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff tells CBS News Sunday morning the balloon wasn't spying. The intelligence community, their assessment, and it's a high confidence assessment, is that there was no intelligence collection by that balloon. Okay, so after all of that propaganda, it turned out the balloon was not actually a spy balloon, and it just took 7 months for them to admit the truth. And so this is how the American intelligence propaganda apparatus tends to work, is they will lie to you and then eventually they will correct it and tell you the truth, but by then people forget about the story altogether and they're on to believing some other propaganda. So why was it over the United States? There are various theories, with at least one leading theory that it was blown off track. Okay, so the current leading theory is exactly what China said, which was that it was just a balloon that was blown off track. The balloon had been headed towards Hawaii, but the winds at 60,000 feet apparently took over. Those winds are very high, Milley said. The particular motor on that aircraft can't go against those winds at that altitude. The balloon floated over Alaska and Canada, and then down over the lower 38 to Billings, Montana, where photographer Chase Doak, who had studied photojournalism in college, recorded it from his driveway. I just happened to notice out of the corner of my eye a white spot in the sky. I, of course, landed on the most logical explanation that it was an extraterrestrial craft. This is a funny guy. I like him. I like him a lot. He laughed, took a photo, took a quick video, and then I grabbed a few coworkers just to make sure that I wasn't seeing things and had them take a look at it. Martin said, "You'll probably never take a more famous picture." And then he responded, "No, I don't think I ever will." He tipped off the Billings Gazette, which got its own picture, and he told anybody who asked they could use his free of charge. Okay, so that's actually really smart of him because now he's very famous because of this. I didn't want to make anything of it. I thought it was a national security issue and all of America needed to know about it. As a U-2 spy plane tracked a 200-foot balloon, the Secretary of State Anthony Blinken called off a crucial trip to China because of this balloon that flew off course. On February 3rd, he called China's decision to fly a surveillance balloon over the continental United States both unacceptable and irresponsible. So you could see that the United States is trying to foment a war, and we're seeing now that everything that the American government said was a lie. When they originally said this was unacceptable and irresponsible, they knew that it was not a spy balloon. They were just trying to arouse the populace into a warlike mentality to create manufactured consent for war with China. Colonel Brandon Tellez planned the February 4th operation, which was to shoot the balloon down once it was 6 miles off the coast. Martin said, "On paper, it looks like this colossal mismatch, one of the country's most sophisticated jet fighters against a balloon with a putt-putt motor. Was it a sure thing?" It's a sure thing, no doubt. It would have been an epic fail. Yes, sir, it would have been. But if you would have seen that, first shot missed, there would have been 3 or 4 right behind it that ended the problem. Okay, so they wasted hundreds of thousands of dollars to fire these shots at a balloon while manufacturing consent for war with China. Just ridiculous, the extent that the American government will go to propagandize its own population, to brainwash its own population to go to war with China. But it only took a single missile which homed in on the heat of the sun reflected off the balloon. So yeah, I believe there was actually a miss, though, before it actually hit. But I could be wrong there. I believe I heard early on that there was a miss. After the Navy raised the wreckage from the bottom of the Atlantic, technical experts discovered the balloon's sensors had never been activated while over the continental United States. That's hilarious because it just shows the buffoonery of the American government. But by then, the damage to U.S.-China relations had been done. On May 21st, President Biden remarked that this silly balloon that was carrying 2 freight cars worth of spying equipment was flying over the United States and it got shot down. Everything changed in terms of talking to one another. So Martin asked, bottom line, it was a spy balloon, but it wasn't a spy balloon. Miller replied, I would say it was a spy balloon that we know with a high degree of certainty got no intelligence and did not transmit any intelligence back to China. So just, this is so ridiculous. Like, people, do you remember, people did not want Trump in office for a second term because they said he's going to get us into a world war. And now we see that Joe Biden is doing absolutely everything possible to get America into a world war with China, with Russia, with Iran, with the entire Islamic world. I mean, in what parts of the world do people not hate America at this point? I mean, probably Europe, the European Union to a certain extent, but I mean, they're our puppets. They're the vassals of the United States. So Joe Biden has done everything possible to escalate problems, to foment tension. And then what do we think this is actually, why is he doing this, is what I'm trying to ask. And I think it's because domestically things are going so badly in America that they need to propagandize the population to focus on external threats. They've run out of the media and entertainment apparatus. I mean, people are not engaging with modern entertainment in America anymore. They recognize that things are getting worse in their day-to-day lives. And so the only thing they have left to fall back on is to pretend like China's a problem, to pretend like Russia's a problem, to pretend like there are all of these threats abroad that Americans have to focus on, so they don't focus on the fact that in their day-to-day lives, things are getting worse. The American public is starting to recognize, and I tend to compare this to the phrase about boiling a frog. If you try to put a frog in boiling water, they will hop out immediately and survive. But if you slowly turn up the temperature on the water, the frog won't jump out and they will just be boiled alive. I don't know who decided to try this out to come up with this saying, but it does work in this specific instance where for a long time, America was declining and people just kind of accepted it. They didn't really pay much attention. They were too busy watching their favorite football team, or they were too busy in their day-to-day lives watching the latest episode of whatever show, Big Bang Theory or something like that. And as entertainment has got worse, and as their various parts of their lives have gone worse, they're not able to afford a house, they're not able to afford rent, they're not able to afford to eat, they're not able to afford anything at this point. As their lives got worse, they start to wise up to the fact that things are bad in the United States and they're only getting worse. And so this is all just a distraction. This is all just a distraction because they're running out of other distractions for the domestic population. And so stay tuned. I have a real, just after assessing the situation, looking at all the various things going on in America and in the world more broadly, I really think 2024 is going to be the year that things really pop off. Like, things are already starting to really pop off, but I mean, really, really pop off in 2024. Anyways, that's all we have for you today. Thank you for watching. Please give us a thumbs up. It helps us in the algorithm. Please subscribe to our channel on YouTube and Rumble. And please give us a comment in the comment box. Any questions, concerns, critiques, I read all of them. Thanks for watching again, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye.